Assalamu alaikum. Hope so you are well. And at first, I would like to provide all types of praise for the Almighty Creator who has given me a chance to join this session. And before launching this session, I would like to welcome all of you who are now in front of myself. Dear participant, today I am going to take a session on business communication. And you know very well, business communication is the transmission of an idea or feelings so that the sender and receiver share the same understanding. And this paper is compulsory in English for second year BB Honors Major in Accounting. And with you, I am Mohammad Hussain, lecturer, Department of Accounting, Government Hussain Shoaib Sarwardi College, Magura. And today we will discuss on topic barriers to communication. And in this case, we will discuss on four specific sides that are number one, physical barrier. Number two, psychological barrier. Number three, semantic blocks. And number four, organizational barrier. That means communication barrier is categorized into four ways: physical barriers, psychological barrier, semantic blocks, and organizational barrier. Dear participant, here there is an example in front of you, the barriers, that means symbolic barriers as one between the two groups. So we will discuss barrier to communication in such a way so that the question which will come into your question paper, you may submit your answer very sharply and clearly. So we are going to gather the knowledge about barrier to communication. When there is a problem which might cause our communication to be disturbed or problematic, it is known as a barrier to effective communication. There are four types of barriers to communication, I have said. Number one, physical barriers. Number two, psychological barrier. And number three, semantic blocks. Number four, organizational barriers. So we will discuss at first physical barriers. One of the sub-points of physical barriers is distance. That means communication is found obstructed in long distance, like communication between America and Nepal. Noise. It is from external sources and affects the communication process. Noise negatively affects the accuracy. This is a picture in front of you, and you understand very clearly distance creates noise in case of communication. So now we will gather knowledge about psychological barriers. Perception. That means anticipation or perception. It is the process of accepting and interpreting the information by the receiver. People receive things differently for various number of reasons. Even after that, filtering. In this process, knowingly or unknowingly, some valuable information may be disposed. Emotion. Emotion also creates barriers to effective communication like anger, hate, mistrust, jealousy, etc. So, very important point is viewpoint. That means it also creates barriers to effective communication. If the receiver doesn't clear the message and ignore without hearing, the message may create obstacles. So, defensive. If the receiver receives the message as cheat and interprets the message in the same way, it creates barriers to effective communication. Now it is time to gather information about semantic barriers. The use of difficult and multiple use of language, words, figures, symbols creates semantic barriers. A language, a meaning sent by the sender can be quite different from the meaning understood by the receiver. Long and complex sentences create problem in communication process. Jargons, technical or unfamiliar language creates barriers. The message should be simple and condensed as far as possible so that no confusion is created. Again, a message should be simple and condensed as far as possible so that no confusion is created. So now number 4, organizational barriers. It is raised from the organizational goals, regulations, structure, and culture. Foreplanning. Foreplanning refers to the designing, encoding, channel selection, and conflicting signals in the organization. Again, foreplanning refers to the designing, encoding, channel selection, and conflicting signals in the organization. Structural complexities. Difficult organizational structure is a barrier for free flow of information. This is the picture by which it is strongly required to set a good plan so that the communication may free flow of information, and associating all the people of the organization can understood very clearly about the message of the superior to subordinate. Dear participant, hope so you understand very clearly these 4 points. And if this question come into the examination, I hope so you will set the answer very clearly and present nicely. Thank you all for understanding this situation up to now. Now it is time to know the status difference. Superior provides information to the subordinates about plan and policies. Different information is provided by different subordinates who create barrier in the communication. Organizational distance between sender and receiver. It means distance between sender and a receiver. Information overloaded. If superior provides too much information to subordinate in short period, receiver suffer from information overload, which creates barriers to effective communication. So in this case, very important point to note that timing. Communication can be obstructed if the information is not provided in time. So time is one of the part of SMART, SMART. S for specific, M for measurable, SMR for realistic, SMA for appropriate, and T for time bound. So timing is one of the parts of SMART. So timing means communication can be obstructed if the information is not provided in time. So thank you all for staying with me. Allah